Friends, I'm so happy to be able to be back in front of you again. I took the summer off, as I guess I can say I normally do now, typically when it comes to filming when my kids are home. And this morning is the very first morning in 3.5 months that both of my kids are not home. So I would like to take a moment to just enjoy this silence. Would you like to enjoy it with me? Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh. I mean, I love my kids. I love them. But I love silence. I love silence so much. So anyway, I'm so glad to be back talking with you. I'm so excited to be bringing you new content. And I mean, I have a list a mile long of all the videos that I am planning to bring to you soon, hopefully sooner than later. I'm very excited about them. Oh, but you're probably wondering, where did all her hair go? I did just cut my hair off. I cut my hair off like 2 weeks ago. I didn't actually mean for it to be this short, but I showed my stylist, Sarah, some inspo pics, and she was like, okay, great, and cut a big piece, and I was like, oh, okay, that's gonna be shorter than I planned on, but let's do it. Let's see what I can do. So we're just seeing what my hair is capable of, and I really love it. I absolutely adore it, actually. I promise I'll be doing a video soon on how I have been styling it, refreshing it, and protecting it overnight. So that is soon to come before it grows out, because it's like the shorter your hair is, the faster it grows. So I better do that one pretty quickly. But today, I'm excited to bring you a video that I have been thinking about for quite some time. I get a lot of questions about, how do I choose the right products for me? You review so many products, how do I know which ones I'm supposed to pick? How do you choose the right products for your hair type? Knowing your hair is key. So we're going to talk about 3 important factors today to help you choose the right products for your hair. So the first step is getting to know your hair. Is it long? Is it short? Is it damaged? Is it virgin hair? Is it colored? Is it coarse? Is it fine? All of these things fall into 3 categories. Texture, which is how coarse or fine your hair is. Porosity, which is whether your hair is low porosity or high porosity or somewhere in between. And third, we're going to talk about density, which basically just tells you how much product you're going to need to use. So with all that said, let's dive into talking about texture. So texture is a really pretty easy one. Texture is just how coarse your hair is or how fine it is, or it could just be somewhere in between. I'm going to show you a picture right here of coarse hair and fine hair. Coarse hair can feel bumpy because it's already rich in keratin, or it might not feel bumpy at all. It could feel smooth, but your strands themselves are thick. So having coarse hair basically just means that you already produce hair that is rich in protein. Keratin is protein. Keratin is what all of our hair is made of. So your hair is probably not going to need any added protein in the products that you use at all. You might like to use some occasionally, especially if your hair is damaged, but that relates to porosity, so we'll talk about that in a moment. Hair that is naturally fine is not rich in protein. Of course, it's made of protein, but you just don't have a ton of it. Your hair strands are really thin. If they fall out on the floor, you probably don't even see them. They're almost invisible. So those strands love protein. You need more protein to help your hair be able to support its own weight, to support the curl, to support the style that you like. So you may want to use products that are rich in protein. For hair that is somewhere in between, you can go either way. You can choose products high in protein, products low in protein, or like middle of the road products in terms of protein. And I'm going to talk to you about what those products are. Here are some ideas. Okay, quickly though, because I want to try to keep this as simple as I can. When it comes to porosity, porosity has to do with how damaged your hair is. It can also be influenced definitely by genetic factors, but typically hair that has been colored or bleached or is particularly long, and so it's been manipulated or handled an awful lot. Hair that's just older is higher porosity. That just means you have more damage. And that hair typically needs a good protein boost because your protein bonds are weak in high porosity hair. So with all that said, the first group of products that I'm going to talk about are higher protein products. So for the sake of keeping things simple, I'm really only going to talk about gels today because leave-on products have the greatest impact on your hair over time. You can use rinse out shampoo or co-wash, rinse out conditioner. those affect your hair, obviously, and they can definitely be a cornerstone in your routine, but it's not going to leave a great deal of protein on your hair. Your leave-in conditioner, any cream, any enhancer you choose to use, any gel, those things that stay on your hair for multiple days, especially if you're not cleansing your hair every single day, are going to make the biggest impact on your hair. So I'm going to talk about some high protein products that are probably best for finer hair or hair that is particularly damaged, even if it's coarse. But if you have coarse hair, you probably are not going to be able to use these products for a long period of time. They'll help you out for maybe a few months until you get your hair back to a state of general health, but then you may want to back off of them because protein buildup does happen. People call that overprotein. And if that does happen to you, all you need to do is clarify with a sulfate or sulfonate-based shampoo. That's my recommendation. Follow up with a protein-free deep conditioner and maybe do that for a few wash days in a row and then lay off the protein for a while. It's really pretty simple. It's all about understanding your hair, reading your hair. If it feels stiff, you've got too much protein going on. So here are some of my favorite protein-heavy gels. Diva Curl's Light Defining Gel. The main protein ingredients in this are hydrolyzed wheat protein, corn protein, soy protein, and hops extract. The proteins you're going to have in your hair products are different size molecules. The larger the protein molecule, the more of an impact it's going to have on your hair. So wheat, corn, and soy, as far as I understand, are large protein molecules. So this is going to be on the heavier side. Bounce Curl, one of my absolute favorite products. Hydrolyzed wheat, hydrolyzed oat are two of the top ingredients. But this is a good one. I really love it for fine hair. And I'll talk more about that product in another video. The Wedad Advanced Climate Control Heat and Humidity Gel. This is a really wonderful product. Okay, this is not a gel, this is Believe In. I'm showing you this one because wheat amino acids, hydrolyzed corn, hydrolyzed soy, and hydrolyzed wheat protein are all present in this, which is what make it a miracle curl plumper, as they say on here. The Zarin Firm Gel. This is a great hard hold gel. The third ingredient is hydrolyzed soy. This is a great product. Then this is Jessie Curl's Gelibration Spray. So this is actually a protein-free product that could be good for all hair types, but I recommend it for fine hair. If you have hair that is particularly prone to being weighed down. So this is a gel, but it's a spray gel, and it will give you some great curl enhancement and also some hold without weighing your hair down because it's so light. So those are my recommendations for hair that is on the finer side or hair that is coarse but is particularly damaged and might need a protein boost for a short period of time. Okay, now I have a handful of middle-of-the-road products in terms of protein quantity or size. So this could be used by anyone likely for a long period of time. Again, if your hair is more coarse, you'll need to just kind of keep tabs on how your hair is feeling before you continue using protein-heavy leave-on products. I hope some of this is helpful. I feel like I'm rambling, but this is one I wanted to really put together for you guys to help you figure out what works for you. Okay, first up, Mop Top Custard. I love this. This can be used as an enhancer under a gel, or it can be used all on its own. It contains silk amino acids as the 5th or 6th ingredient, which is a small molecule protein. I would think that anyone could use this for an extended period of time and have absolutely no problems. But you've got to consider too, what all are you layering on your hair? If everything you're layering on your hair has protein in it, that's going to build up over time, especially in your leave-on products. So something to keep in mind. Okay, the Only Curls Enhancing Curl Gel. This is for my European curl friends, for my curl friends in England. This is Only Curls London produces this. It's made in London, and it's very moisturizing. So right off the bat, I think, God, this would be great for particularly coarse hair that needs a little bit of softening. Kukui seed oil, avocado oil are right up front, but it does contain hydrolyzed quinoa pretty far down the list. LA Looks Extreme Sport. I mean, I think this just contains keratin amino acids. So again, keratin amino acids are a small molecule protein. This could work for anybody, and it's super budget friendly. Staying in the budget friendly vein, LA Looks Extreme Spikes. This one, I believe, also only contains keratin amino acids. Yep, so keratin amino acids in this one too. And this one is completely glycerin free, which I know I've talked about in other videos before. If you're confused about glycerin, Google it, but I will be doing a video soon on how to read ingredient labels like a pro. So keep an eye out for that. And when it's up, I will link it right up here. Okay, so this is another great moderate protein product that anybody should be able to use for an extended period of time with relatively no problems. Archangel Gel, this is by DevaCurl. DevaCurl has a reputation for products that are high in protein. They are a great starter line for someone new to the curly girl method because most of their products do have a fair amount of protein in them, and most people start curly girl with damaged hair. It completely makes sense. However, this one only contains, let me see here, I believe it's hops, just hops. Hops are the only protein that I can identify in this Archangel Gel by DevaCurl. A few more options. Innersense, I Create Hold. About halfway down the list, we finally run into rice amino acids and hydrolyzed rice protein. Larger molecule proteins, so probably a little bit better for somebody with finer hair, but because they're so far down on the list of ingredients, I think anyone could use this. But again, if you're more coarse, let's opt for protein free, which we'll discuss in a moment. BioSilk Rock Hard Styling Gelée. This one only contains hydrolyzed silk. So hydrolyzed silk is your only protein in this. And then Mop Top Medium Hold Gel, another Mop Top product. This one also contains a number of small molecule proteins, including silk amino acids and a number of different types of seaweed. And I think that's it. So a number of small molecule proteins, which is going to make it higher in the protein category, but they're small molecules. So those are all your middle of the road options. Last, let's talk about the very few protein-free options that I have sitting here with me. Okay, so for my coarse-haired girls, I have a number of products I can recommend to you. I have a few products. I shouldn't say a number. I have mostly fine hair, like I said, so my hair tends to love protein, but I always have at least one protein-free product on hand that I need to use after I experience protein overload, because it does happen. My hair starts to feel stiff and it's just not curling right. I just know something is up. So I clarify, I follow up with a protein-free deep conditioning treatment. I'm mentioning this, I know it's not a gel, I know it's not a leave-on product, although you should leave it on for about 20 to 30 minutes at least. But it's hard to find a completely protein-free deep conditioner. So the deep conditioning treatment from Jessie Curl is my absolute favorite deep conditioner that's protein-free. I really don't recommend a lot of deep conditioners because I've found 2 or 3 that I love and I basically married them. So those are the ones I recommend. This is one of them. If you have coarse hair, you probably don't always need a gel. You actually may just use a cream. DevaCurl Wave Maker is an outstanding protein-free cream. I haven't looked at the ingredients of their styling cream to see if it's protein-free. I don't believe that it is, but I know that Wave Maker is completely protein-free. So even if you're a curly girl, if you have coarse hair and you really like to use a cream, this might be a really good option for you, whether your hair is wavy or not. Next, my 3 gel options that are completely protein-free. Jessie Curl. Jessie Curl is actually it's a mostly protein-free line. So if you struggle with finding products that are protein-free, Jessie Curl is the place to look. JessieCurl.com, and they do free shipping, just so you know, on the 15th of every month. They also have their products on Amazon, and I have them linked in my Amazon shop, which you can find the link below in my description box. So I have my favorites in there. But Jessie Curl Spiralicious is probably my favorite protein-free gel. It's also glycerin-free, so when it comes to super humid days, this is always my go-to. For my British curlies again, and even for my American girls, you can get this on the Anthropologie website. True, but weird, but true. Bouclem, I absolutely love this gel. Also completely protein-free. Their whole line is protein-free. This gel is absolutely outstanding. It smells like lemons, and I love it. Kenra Ultra Freeze Gel. This is completely protein-free. You're gonna get some crazy hold with this gel. Protein-free crazy hold. So those are my recommendations when it comes to gels and leave-on products for my fine, medium, and coarse-haired, wavy, and curly girls. And now that I have a bed full of products, let's talk about porosity. So porosity is How porous is your hair? How much water does it retain? Is it hard to moisturize it? Is it hard to hydrate it because it doesn't allow water in? I did a hair analysis with Wendy, who is a hair scientist, and I'll do a whole other video on that at some point in time. So Wendy, the hair scientist, has her own company called Goose Footprints. She has an Etsy shop. I believe she has her own website now too, but I will provide that link below in the description box. So if you are interested in getting a hair analysis so someone can tell you all about your hair, I think the fee is maybe $50 or $40, I can't remember anymore. She will analyze your hair under a microscope, test it with different things. It's fascinating, and it tells you so much about your hair from the get-go without you having to trial and error and question your way through everything. So I highly recommend it, but there's also nothing like learning on your own too. So that said, if you don't want to spend the money for hair analysis, here's how you can figure out if your hair is high porosity or low porosity. You can do the float test. I don't personally think it's a very accurate test, but it can be. You want to take something with a wide opening. A bowl, I think, is best. It's better than a cup. Fill that with water and then take a few strands of your hair, pull them out of your head. The cleaner the better, and lay them across the top. Oh, I got one. That's funny. Okay, and then lay them across the top. If they sink within 5 minutes to the bottom, you have high porosity hair. If they float somewhere in the middle after about 5 minutes, you have medium porosity hair. If they stay on the top and don't go anywhere, you have low porosity hair. That's what the test is supposed to tell you. My problem with the test is this big factor called surface tension. So surface tension is going to keep your hair floating on the top of the water no matter what, especially if you have fine hair, so it just weighs less. Even if it's high porosity but fine, it's going to stay floating on the top of the water for days. It may never sink to the bottom. So even if you poke at it to break the surface tension, it could still float because it just doesn't weigh anything. So surface tension, for me, negates the result of the test, but that's up to you. You can always try it if you want to. The way I really learned my own hair porosity was buildup rate. Buildup rate will also tell you if your hair is high or low porosity. The higher porosity hair, the lower your buildup rate. Your hair just absorbs products and then it's thirsty for more. It just, give me more cream, give me more gel, give me more everything, give me more water, I want all the water. It just doesn't hold on to anything because it's constantly losing moisture. The lower porosity your hair, the higher your buildup rate. So my buildup rate is pretty fast. I like to use products that don't contain a lot of shea butters or mango seed butters because those are instant buildup on my hair. Curly girl friendly products, no silicones, still build up on my hair within 2 to 3 weeks, which is why I tend to clarify every 3 weeks. That's porosity. It's pretty easy to figure out. I don't have a list of products for you specifically based on your porosity, but you can keep this in mind. Basically, higher porosity hair, even if it's fine, is going to need more moisture. So you're more than likely going to want to use a cream under your gel at all times. For finer hair, just use less. Use a little chickpea or a green pea sized amount. If your hair is coarse and high porosity, and maybe you have a lot of it, you're obviously going to want to use more of a product. So those types of hair are almost always going to want to use a cream, a leave-in conditioner, and maybe even an enhancer or custard under their gel. You're just gonna have to see what works for you. But for high porosity hair, more is typically better, and applying products throughout the day can also be helpful to you. So something like a moisturizing gel, like Gelibration spray, might be great for someone with high porosity hair because you're constantly needing to give it more water, more moisture. So that's my recommendation. Next, let's talk about density. So the third consideration is density. And density is not based on how much hair you lose in the shower. Everybody's gonna lose a ton of hair in the shower. Density is how much scalp can you see. So if I go like this and I part my hair, yep, I can see a fair amount of scalp. I don't have a ton of hair. I can always see my scalp. But for some people, your hair is so dense, you can never see your scalp, or you can see just a tiny bit. If you smush it down, you can finally see some scalp. You've got high density hair. Congratulations. You have glorious, beautiful hair. You have a lion's mane that everybody wants. If your budget doesn't allow for high-end products because you have to use a ton of product, these two are my first recommendation. But if you want something a little bit cleaner, the Mop Top Curly Hair Custard is my second high recommendation. A little of this goes a long way. Mop Top I feel like is priced pretty budget friendly, but for someone like me that's got a medium amount of hair, I feel a little bit lucky because I can use just about anything. I can use all these products on my bed. Even if they're really heavy, I just use less of them. So for my low density friends, you're definitely going to want to steer for products that are on the lighter side. Back to the Gelibration spray. You can use something like this, but the added weight is going to be a lot for you. Bounce Curl is a very great option. It's very lightweight, it's curl enhancing. So these two would probably be my picks for my low density people, as long as you're not protein sensitive. Those are the three things you need to consider: porosity, texture, and density when you are choosing hair products for yourself. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got some recommendations out of it. If you have any questions or recommendations for me or other considerations that you'd like to take into account that I didn't talk about, I hope you will leave those in the comments section below, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. It's so nice to be back. It's so nice to be able to talk with you again. I have missed you guys so much, and if I could figure out like a way to like virtually hug you through the TV screen or computer or phone or whatever you're watching this on, I would totally do it. So big hugs to all of you. I hope you had a wonderful summer, and I will talk with you very, very soon. Have a great curl day. See ya.